Okay, let's get started. I would like to walk. Okay, guys, let's get started. I just want to walk you through. Okay. I would like to walk you through doing the test. Okay, so you can walk through. So basically, you're going to have to go to get the test. You're going to have to go to www.sdba.info is where you'll download the test. Right? We go to there. We then click. What did I do here? Okay. Then I want to go to, Basics of C Programming, Milestones. Then you will need to click a basic program. In basic program, you're going to get these are the directions, and we'll hand that out to you. You're going to so basically you're going here, opening the Milestone directory, now downloading the test. Download test. Test is now downloaded. Open the folder in the folder here. Just as before, you're going to click on it. All this stuff is on the inside. Control C. And you got to move it into your directory, SDBA, on your computer. Where are we? This PC, SDBA. You should move it into this directory. And if you did things correctly, you're going to get this beautiful icon show. If you aren't doing it correctly, you won't get this icon show. Okay? You would then click on the icon. It's going to give you more info, obviously, and you want to run it anyways. You now have to enter your student ID. Okay, and the PIN, which I'm going to give you shortly. But let's say if I'm just going to do the practice, so I'm entering 0. During the test, you cannot enter 0. You must enter the PIN. You will not get the test if you enter something else. And you will notice it's practice because this is not the test. Okay? And you're going to you're going to open Q.C with Notepad. So we'll open our Notepad++. Okay, I've got Notepad++ here. Open. SDBA. You should have got a file now. Q.C will appear. You will open Q.C, and this will tell you the question you are going to answer. So, for example, if I was doing this one, I leave this here. I put my code here. Okay, don't erase the question. We need to know what question you're trying to answer. There are 20 different questions for you to not to choose from, that you will randomly be selected. Okay, so input fixed point data. I can use scanf or John input library functions. Write a function to calculate g of t of q equals t times q over 2. Use your function to calculate two numbers. Print the result using stdio function printf. So first, you will want to do a UML. I will skip doing that part. Okay, I'm going to need two functions, G. I'm going to need a function G. So I'm going to need my function prototype. So double G, and it's going to take, oh no, it's not, it's a fixed point function, sorry. So it's going to be long G, long T, long Q. There's my prototype. It's going to be an integer, then next comes integer main void. And I'm going to want, and so there's going to be my function here, return 0. I will probably also need to write my function down here, which is very, okay, long, okay, what's it doing? It is supposed to write, so I got long, I don't know, temp, whatever I want to call it, temp equals T times Q divided by 2, return TMP. Okay, there's my function. I'm going to, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing? I want to input, so I would probably do my quick input, and I'm going to probably use for input, let's get fixed prompt. I'll use, and then I'll do my calculation with this guy, call G, and then finally it's call G with input fixed point prompt for EA and, okay, for EA and BT, call G with EA comma BT. Then I'm gonna, it says I gotta call it again. Call G with BT comma EA. And then I'm gonna call F print F for output. Okay. Looking at this, I now know since I've decided which functions I'm going to use, I'm also going to need the prototype for, I'm going to have to include, right, jinlive.h for my function prototype for get fixed prompt. I'm going to need to include stdio.h in order to get my fprintf guy, and I've got my prototype for G here. Okay, so let's start writing my code now. So I need a double EA, double BT, double G, I don't know, call G1, G2, and then I don't want double, I want long, because it's fixed point. All right, so there's, and I need to input them. Okay, so EA equals get fixed prompt, and and it takes something here, input value for EA. Okay, I'll just give that message. BT equals get fixed prompt, input value for BT. Okay, that's the get, I've got my, there's my get fixed prompt part. So now I'm going to call G. So G1 equals G of EA comma BT. G2 equals G of BT comma EA. And okay, that's these guys done. And now I need fprintf standard out of, and I'm going to have to print, what do I want to print? The minimum I want to print is the result, so G1, G of percent LD comma percent LD equals percent LD G of percent LD, comma, percent LD, brackets equals percent LD, and now I'm going to print 6 different numbers. So the first one is EA, comma, BT, comma, G1. The next will be BT, comma, EA, comma, G2. Okay, that should be my code finished. So I've got my function prototypes, I have my function calls, I have my function to do the work, and I would then save it. Once I've saved it, I'm now going to have to get my prompt. Here we go, ANSI C, more info, run anyways. GCC minus C minus wall Q.C, GCC minus O Q.O J in lib dot O. Oops, I forgot. Q.exe. All right, and I can now, okay, now I would want to run it. Q, EA 5, BT 6, and okay, G of 5 comma 6 equals 15, G of 6 comma 5 equals 15. At this point, I need to, I go back to my main window. What does it tell me I'm supposed to be doing now at this point? Where's my main window? Here we are. I'm going to make, I have my UML activity diagram. It's running okay. It runs without errors. I can close the file or type, I can then close the file Q.C, text next to get the next question or to finish. Okay, so it's running okay. I'm happy with it. I'm going to close the file. I'm going to type next. And I will now need to call the TA. Okay, I will wait, call the TA. The TA will then come and he will basically copy your file onto a pen drive, and we will check the file to make sure it meets the requirements. Okay, on your sheet you can see the various requirements we have. The UML is going to have to be correct. Your program has to compile, link, and run without warning. The calculation has to be correct. It can't give the wrong answer. The code should be clean, and you should use functions. In other words, if you write, where's my Q.C? File open, Q.C. Oh, Q.C is gone. Once you press next, Q.C is gone. Okay, so the TA will grab it, but it's not Q.C. He'll grab the other file where it's stored and it's archived. Okay, so do not turn off the computer, please. Do not turn off the computer. Once he's entered the initials, you can leave, okay? Once the TA has initialized it, like if I enter JDW, tutor will check later, all files are saved, acknowledge, you may go home, okay? And the TA will then check. All right, so is there any questions about how you'll be doing the test? Okay, good. You may not use hand phone. You may not use internet. Okay, no hand phone. Please put your hand phone away. You may not talk. You may not use hand phone. You may not use internet. Other than to download the code, right, that you're doing, which you do need. But after that, you will not be using the internet. Okay? So TAs will have handed out the milestone sheet yet? Okay, can hand out the milestone sheet and we'll get started.